Good afternoon, everybody. So, welcome back to the Struggles of Lilly. On this episode of Let's Talk About It, something I want to talk about is body imaging. And the reason why I chose the topic body imaging is because I couldn't decide if I wanted to talk about body shaming in America, body diversity in America, or acceptance in America. So what really brought me to the full surface of this is also body acceptance, right? And how can you be of acceptance of something if you're not properly represented, for one, and for two, you don't have that self-love and self-care within yourself, right? So I kind of wanted to talk about just my own personal things that I've been through, and then some of the different things that I've seen. And I'm so nervous because I don't really like talking to people, which is also why I want to do this segment. So I wanted to give a little backstory first. The whole reason why I relaunched the Struggles of Lilly, but I added the Let's Talk About It, is because, like I said in my last episode, I don't want to sit in a negative space. Being a mom, having a daughter, has really pushed me to really be comfortable in who I am so I can show to her who she's going to be. That has been the biggest challenge, because for the past 4 years, it's only been 4 years that I've been comfortable in my own skin. Prior to that, really insecure, didn't look people in the eye, something I'm still working on. There's a backstory to that I'll get into in a minute. Didn't like being around people, wore clothes that always covered me up, never exposed my legs to people, just different things like that. Just to kind of like try to make other people comfortable more so than myself, because something that I have a really hard time with is being stared at. I hate being stared at. I have anxiety talking about this. I hate being stared at. And I know everywhere I go, I am continuously stared at because I look different. People, I will not say people are ignorant. I will say when people haven't seen something before, of course they're going to look at it. They're curious by nature. It's just what people do, what people are, how people act. It is what it is. But for a person having to live it, I don't like it. So to avoid feeling as if the walls were closing in on me, because literally if I walk, everybody on both sides of the walls are staring at me, I just look down at the floor. I don't even look people in the face. Even today, like how I casually look away, that's just how I talk in nature, because I'm not used to just being like, hey friend, how are you? I'm like, hey girl, what's going on? I might look at you, look away, look at you, look away. And so I'm really struggling with that to this day. I'm struggling with it, but because of my daughter, Corey pushes me so freaking much. Partially because everything that they said I could not do, I've been able to do even with her. Backstory behind being pregnant with her, I wasn't even supposed to be able to carry her. With my condition of KTWS, Klippel-Trenaunay-Weber syndrome, it has a lot of soft tissue. And the soft tissue is within my uterus. My condition affects me all on my left side. I have a port wine stain starting in the middle of my back, almost like in like the tramp stamp region, but I don't have nothing, no tattoos there or nothing like that. But it affects me from my left buttocks, hip, all the way down to my toes on the left side. And so naturally it's front and back. And so if it affects me from the buttocks region, obviously it affects me from the pelvic region in a way. It didn't cause anything to be abnormally shaped, but the soft tissue is in those areas, thus being in my uterus. So I was always taught that obviously an egg could be fertilized, but that it would never attach to my uterine wall. And then when it became attached to my uterine wall with Corey, all hell broke loose. The OBGYN, my cardiologist, everybody wanted me to get rid of her. Everybody wanted me to abort her. And I was just like, I might never have this chance to have a child again. I'm not getting rid of my child because you're scared. Because the thing is, with people with KT or KTWS, there's really not a lot of medical science written. It's not a lot of documentation for them to go off of. And so based off of what they read, it's extremely high risk. It doesn't help that I have heart conditions too. And so long story short, it was just like, look, it's either going to be you or the baby. Well, she'll be 3 on Friday, y'all. So clearly that wasn't the case. But just in being pregnant with her, I struggled mentally because I had just got to a point in my life where I was accepting of my body. I was posting full body pictures on Facebook, my social media. Because I'd never done that before. That was a big step in itself, because just going through high school, the body shaming conversation happened with me. You know, I used to get told all the time, like, I was pretty but people couldn't get past my leg, or, you know, you're cool but you're shaped weird, or just different things like that. And it just really jacked up my self-confidence on the inside, we could say that. And so just getting to a point where, you know, I'm feeling myself, I've lost, you know, all this weight, because I used to be on the plus. I've been on the plus side my whole life. I don't care about that. But I had finally got from fluffy to flat. And I was very, very proud of myself, because I've always been like an extra large, but I got down to a medium. And I finally felt as if my overall body fit my body. Because the number one thing that I never wanted to be was super skinny. I never wanted to be skinny, because I always felt as if I'm already noticeable. Heaven forbid I make it look worse. And I know that might sound kind of like ignorant to other people, but for me it wasn't, because it's just I hate being stared at. And so I was feeling myself, I'm not gonna lie. My 22nd birthday, I was popping, long hair, didn't care, real cute. It was probably one of the best birthdays I ever threw myself. I was feeling myself. So then in getting pregnant with Corey, you go through all the changes of being a mom. I don't really have a torso. I'm not tall at all. I'm only 5'1". She was literally in my hips and my stomach. So obviously those places stretched out. Got the stretch marks, all of that. And then that was a whole thing. That was a whole thing. And then I found out I was having a girl. And so in knowing that I was having a daughter, especially a brown daughter, I knew as her mother, I had to make sure that she didn't experience anything that I experienced, that she got to grow up seeing her mom love herself. She got to grow up seeing, obviously, her dad. That's a whole nother conversation. He's low-key cocky. Her dad loving himself. You know, just seeing the positivity manifest around her and be around her and in her circle, so that she knew, like, you know, I'm me, this is who I am, whether I got a little bit of weight on me, whether I'm tall, short, whatever, somebody's always going to have something to say. So I'm going to be the one to say it first, and not in a negative way. I want her to be in a mental state where somebody can say something about you, but if you know that doesn't pertain to you, don't even latch it on. Like, you notice that with people, like, sometimes people try to define you, and what they say has absolutely no fucking thing to do with who you are as a person. Same concept. It's like, I want her to just be like, if someone say something about her, she'd be like, girl, bye. That is not me. Girl, girl, bye. And so I think she'll experience that in watching me. However, I struggle. I struggle because even though I'm at the point where in my house, I'll wear like dresses above my knees or basketball shorts or regular shorts or whatever, when I go out in public, that's dead. I don't do that. I don't do that. I'll wear a long sundress that comes down to my ankles, but I won't wear anything above my ankles out in public. I feel like that's a problem. And so it's something that I'm working on. But I think the things that help me, even in wanting to do this, even in Corey being my inspiration behind it, it's just a different imagery that I'm starting to see. More and more, especially in 2019 and as we're moving forward. I think 2019 is just the year of acceptance overall. Whether you agree with the things being promoted, it is just the year of, we are tired of the things being cut off. We are tired of it only belonging to you. We gonna take our power back. And you don't have to like it, but you're gonna respect it. You don't have to agree with it. It might not be for you, it might not be your lifestyle, but guess what? It's me. It's me. And so I really enjoy that. I just saw a commercial not even a week ago from the company Venus with the razor blades, and I saw a mom holding her daughter, it's a black woman, showing her cesarean scar. Never in my life have I seen something like that. Ever. In my 26 years of life, I've never seen a commercial. I remember when the CoverGirl commercial threw me for a loop because they had that male in it, and I was just like, dang, this is different. This is different. And so even now, it was kind of like the same effect for me. The Venus commercial is like, wow, she's not super skinny, she's African American, and she's showing her cesarean scar, her C-section scar. It was a Caucasian woman because I think she had red hair, and she almost looked like black people with vitiligo, whichever. And she was covered in brown dots, almost like freckles, like really huge freckles, except they were like all over her body. And then it was someone else. So it was almost like the concept from the Dove commercial where they had all the different ethnicities of women. But in this one, for me, it was almost more realistic because they weren't all the same size, same shape, petite, whatever. They all look different. And I was just like, you know what? This is where the world is going. This is what we're doing now. I remember when the judge off of American Next Top Model, Ashley, the plus size model, got hired, and people were in an uproar. And it was just the first, from that, they hired the first plus size male model. And then you saw the girl with Down syndrome end up on the runway in New York Fashion Week, and just all of these different positive diversity, body imaging movements is something that I'm really appreciative of to see, and something that I want to start to see that I never saw, which was probably also part of the problem for me, is diversity in different body types. No one in my family was small. I am the short one. Everybody in my family, except for on my mom's side with the women, grandma 5'10", male 6 feet and higher, body weight over 200. Nobody is small. And so when you look on TV and you see all these petite women and all these really muscular men and all these really skinny females, no real body type, no full figureness, no none of that, you don't see any diversity, let alone me with a disability, right? That can really F with you. That can really F with you because it's just like, dang, well, who looks like me? And even now with the diversity coming in the positive body images, and I'm so happy about it, I just feel like Well, what about the women who look like me? Because there are women who look like me. There are women who have port wine stains all over their affected area. There are women who have the varicose veins popping up out of their skin. There are women who look like me. So the number one thing that I want to try to do is, just because I didn't have that representation doesn't mean I can't be that representation for someone else. So that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to a point where, in growing with me and loving me and accepting me and moving forward with me, I can help somebody move forward with them. And you don't even have to have KTWS. You can have whatever it is you have going on. You could have scoliosis where you feel like you got a curve. You could have whatever. It doesn't even have to be disability related. You could just feel like you on the heavier side of things and want to do something to change it. That's fine. I just want to be a representation for somebody else who potentially looks like me and can understand what it is that someone like me goes through. And my daughter helps me do that every single day. You know, I want her to be one of those well-rounded kids. I really was super scared, especially to have a little girl. Oh my God, I used to cry to her dad all the time because I felt like she would treat me almost like the movie The Imitation of Life, where the little girl was almost white and her mom was dark skinned, and she went off on her mom and didn't claim her mom. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared to take her to daycare, and I'm so scared to do anything, because what if people make fun of her because I'm her mom? Because people used to make fun of my friends for being friends with me, or people used to make fun of my brother because I was his sister. And I was just like, what if she hates me? Like, I don't want to do it. I was telling her that you're going to have to be the one to take care of her. You're going to have to be the one to do it, because I don't want to cause havoc for her. Oh, I get anxiety talking about it. I don't want to do that for her. You know what I'm saying? And so it just really pushed me to be like, F that, you know. Corey, she's so loving. Oh my God, if you was to see my child, she's taking a nap now. That's why the music's on in the background. That's why I'm able to do this. If you were to see her, she's so loving. She really is. She's so loving. She's so friendly to an extent. She's so cool, man. And I know it's because of what I'm teaching her. And I know that it pushes me even further to just want to take it there. So for this topic, because I've been going, I just wanted to talk about body imaging. I wanted to talk about being aware of shaming people just because you don't necessarily agree with their body type. I wanted to talk about the body positivity that I'm starting to see, which I feel as if I covered a little bit, and I'm really, really glad that I'm starting to see it. I think it's extremely important, and I think it's going to help all of these girls today. Even if they don't look like me, it's going to help because it's realistic. It's what the average realistic woman looks like. It's not what we used to grow up seeing in these magazines and this bullshit. It's not like that, and I'm so happy about that. And then I wanted to just talk about overall body acceptance, man, because if you don't love you, who's gonna love you? If you don't vibe with you, how can you expect other people to vibe with you? You got to be comfortable in the skin you in, whether you decorate it up some, or you know, you it's your temple. Manage your temple how you see fit, and be cool with that, because what you put out into the world brings back to you. That's that universe stuff that people talk about, but that's a whole nother conversation. So if all you're putting is this negative mindset, like, oh, people think I'm ugly, people this, people that, blah, 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 it's just negative, what do you think you're going to receive? You're only going to attract those negative mindsets. You're only going to attract the negativity. You're only going to attract the people who talk that cash shit to you. That's all you're going to do. So you just want to be mindful and work on ways, and maybe tell yourself some positive affirmations every single day. And I know it's going to sound stupid, but when you get to a point, eventually you're going to believe it. So that's all I wanted to say to you guys today. I appreciate everybody who tuned in last week. I'm thankful for those who tuned in this week. If you could like it, share it, subscribe, whatever it is you want to do. Thank you for tuning in to the Struggles of Lilly, and I hope you enjoyed our Let's Talk About It. If you have any suggestions or anything you want to talk about, let me know. Thank you, and you guys have a good day.